everybody? Welcome back to another episode of tkanddrinks. I'm your host, TK. And man, it has been... I'm having a hard time believing that we're even on our ninth review. This is amazing. Thank you for those who are returning viewers. Welcome to those of you who are new viewers. This is an honest mead review series where I purchase a mead from a meadery at random across the country somewhere. They ship it out to me, or in this case, they happen to be locally, and I give them an honest review of what I think of their product. I am doing this for a study guide purpose. I'm trying to join the ranks of the BJCP, or the Beer Judge Certification Program, for those who didn't know. Trying to become an official mead judge. I have a test coming up in January. Now I'm up to, I think, almost between the ones I've done on video and the ones I've done just written reviews for, I'm up to about 24 at this point, and I'm hoping to have at least 100 under my belt by the time January comes around. I would like to have closer to 200 done, but so this movie called The Knockaround Guys has Vin Diesel in it, and he's this mafioso tough guy, and he ends up in this tiny town and in a bar and ends up running into the local tough guy. The tough guy starts running his mouth to Vin Diesel, and he says, 500. Says, 500 what, douchebag? Said, 500 fights before you call yourself a legitimate tough guy. And goes on to this speech about how he goes about getting to 500 fights, and that, well, I'm not a fighter in that regard. It always rung true to me as something. It's like 500 something before you can call yourself a legitimate whatever it is. So, once I get to 500 meads, I'll call myself a legitimate mead expert. Until then, I'm just some chump reviewing mead on the internet. So, thank y'all for tuning in and being here with me along my journey to 500. So, that's what we're going to start calling it, I've decided. Called the Journey to 500. So, let's get number 9 on the way. So again, this is from my friends here locally at Scale Feather Meadery. This is their double honey traditional, called their second edition. They have a Dungeons and Dragons adventure fantasy type theme to all their to their stuff. It's very cool. They have some great artwork. Their graphic designer does some phenomenal work. I'm super impressed by all their stuff that they so let's get started on this guy right away and start breaking it down. First thing, we got color on this. This has got a very, well, it's rather hazy, to be honest with you guys. There's not much clarity to that at all. It is very hazy. I don't know if this needed another racking or if it needed a different clarifying agent, something to get that haze out of there. And the way that bubble moves through that bottle, that tells me that's going to be a pretty sweet mead. That's going to have a lot of body to it, but for competition purposes, that would definitely be, in my opinion, as a judge, that would be fault worthy on the cloudiness scale. It almost looks like white. So let's peel off our little label there, stick that there for safekeeping. All right. I do have to say that I like these flip-top bottles better than the old corkscrew kind, because I can do it easily and don't have to make a mess. Although I bet I probably will, because that's how I do it. Man, all over the wall, like a sneeze. All right. Ooh, I definitely get a fermented honey aroma, that vinous smell. Ooh, it's very sweet. You can definitely smell the honey. Oh yeah, that's very, very potent honey smell. Oh yeah, that's very, very sweet. So let me know down in the comment sections if y'all prefer the super slow-mo pour, or if you just prefer the regular pour, a little more flavor and flair to the show. All right, so there's that color. Definitely very light on the color. I wouldn't even call that amber. I would just call that like a light white color. Almost. Also note the dope Scale and Feathers glass they got me. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of, there you go against my shirt. There we go. Scale and Feather. Bang, bang, bang. Check that out. So definitely again on the light side, light white color. See that body. So you can see that thing just coats the glass and sticks around
That has got to be a very heavy bodied, very sweet mead. Again, double honey. So let's say a normal honey traditional would call for, I don't know, let's say 1 gallon would be 3 pounds of honey. So this would be 6 pounds of honey for a 1 gallon. So if they brewed up 200 gallons, Lord only knows how much honey went into this. I'm sure that was an arm and a leg. Ooh, a little bit of the alcohol fermentation there on the backside. You get the wine aroma, but I don't get any like extra. All right, let's give this bad boy a taste. See what is happening. Ooh, that is very sweet, but not overly sweet. I have to be honest. With a double honey and being as cloudy as this is, I was totally expecting this to be very overly sweet. I was expecting it to be syrupy and cloyy. I was expecting it to not have this type of balance to it, but it does. It has a sweetness to it. It has a tiny bit of acidity. I definitely would like to see more of an acidity balance. Sugar to the fermentation and the alcohol is well done. There's a little bit of carbonation, just a slight bit of carbonation to it. Yeah, that has definitely got a nice strong body to it. Coats the mouth, hangs around for a while, and I get that nice honey. A nice honey taste right on the tongue. It hangs around for a little bit, but it's not like it's not overly sweet. It's not like you just took a big pull off the honey bottle or anything like that. This is like a nice honeyed biscuit or something like that. There's a little bit of butter in there. It's smooth and right delicate on your tongue like that. But that haziness definitely is funky on that. Give me a second to fill out this sheet and we'll get right to that. So as you can see, give this guy a score of 30 out of 50. I've knocked some points off for the clarity for sure. And I'm just trying to be a little more constructive in my criticism of these. So you might start seeing the scores of these trying to represent better as I get better at my judging and better at qualifying what is and what isn't a fault, what is and isn't appropriate for styles and everything like that. So like I said, bear with me on these numbers. These are going to be fluctuating until I get my bearing straight. Appreciate you guys being patient with me. So as I said, we're hitting this one with a 30. Lost points for clarity, got points for taste, for being a double honey but not over sweet. Could use a better balance on some acidity. It is all sweet, but it definitely does not look the part that it tastes, which is unfortunate. Thank you very much, Scale Feather Meadery, for doing this one. I greatly appreciate you guys making a double honey on that, because like I said, don't have access to a lot of those. I haven't seen them, so it's cool to try something new that I haven't got to try yet. So on our next episode, we're gonna be hitting up the Scale and Feather. It's blueberry on the inside. It's blueberry Earl Grey tea. Have not had a glass of Earl Grey tea before, so that should be interesting to see how that goes. I'm gonna see if I can find some of that before I drink that, just so I have something to better reference. But blueberry is one of my favorites, so I'm hoping that that's going to be a solid build on that one. So tune in for the next episode to see the blueberry on the inside from Scale and Feather Meadery here in Avondale, Arizona. Have a wonderful night, day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Remember, journey to 500. Peace.